Hey, I'm Deb Denys, candidate for Volusia County Council District 3, and we're here at one of our great establishments here at the Post, and I'd like to introduce...
My name is Wallace Ferreira, Commander, American Legion Post 285, Edgewater, Florida.
And tell us about your post, what you do for your existing vets and their families and the community at large, the community that you serve, and why this is so important to our area.
American Legion Post 285 was established in 1960. And they met at City Hall, downtown Edgewater. We have grown, as you can see. We were in a strip mall. We outgrew it. We had no outside areas to do picnics, parties, or anything, any gatherings for the vets. And we purchased this property. It used to be a boating place, G&G Marine. Refurbished it, rebuilt it, put hundreds of thousands of dollars in it. Scrimped and saved every penny we could. We were tasked with some outrageous bills of sewage pump stations, having to put in an additional fire hydrant within 50 feet of the building when one already existed 120 feet of the building. We've had to just meet codes that we thought at the time were a little strict. We've had the county...
Because there was an existing structure here.
Right.
You didn't build a new building.
No, we did not. It was an existing structure, yes, ma'am.
So you took over an existing structure that would have been vacant.
This building had been vacant for approximately 10 years. No revenue whatsoever to anyone.
Wow.
It was in foreclosure. We assumed it, we bought it, and we made it what it is today. The largest veteran service organization in southeast Volusia County. Our membership here is 1,000 strong.
Wow.
I went before the county council myself and asked that the original $29,000 impact fee be waived. I was told that couldn't be done. I went back before the council. I met with some of the county council chairman. We got it dropped down to $13,000. $13,000 is a drop in the bucket. They should have waived all of it, we feel. We're a non-profit veteran service organization. I'm paying approximately $700 a month water bill right now for the next 2 years.
Plus it was an existing structure.
It was an existing structure, yes. All we did, we improved it. We made it a beautiful thing. We've had to encounter some problems with displaying the American flag. The flags in question were not the branch of service flags we were displaying, but it was the ordinance the city had put out only one American flag per property.
This is the city of Edgewater.
The city of Edgewater. We were coerced into annexing into the city by the late councilman Ted Cooper. We were promised grants by Mr. Cooper. We were promised all sorts of assistance. And once we got in, we didn't get anything, and I'm sorry to say he passed. We have gone before the council. I have spoke with the mayor and all sorts of people. We've had an issue with our sign out front. I'm told by the mayor himself several weeks back that the city's going to give a 24-month grace period to change the sign. Quite frankly, right now, my members to this day, they can't see the sign we have. If I go smaller, they're not going to see it at all. Back to the flag issue, that was really, that upset me. That upset many, many veterans throughout the United States.
It upset a lot of people that read about it in the newspaper and saw it in the media. We've all followed it.
Yes, ma'am. There were literally thousands of people that responded.
There was.
The issue there was one American flag per property. All I had out at any given time was two, and particularly the flag that was at our front entrance. We have a flag at the pole and one at the front entrance, and we were told that that couldn't be there. I did 24 years in the Navy.
I was just going to say, I'm thinking of my cousin. When I was 16 years old, I lost two cousins to the Vietnam War. Mm-hmm. And I remember to this day the 21 gun salute at the first funeral. Mm-hmm. And when that first rifle sounded, it's so piercing, I can still remember to this day. To tell anybody that has worked and served our country for the freedoms that we have now, that when you come home, you can only display one flag. What should we say? That's like saying when you go to serve, you can only take one bullet and you're done. So I think it sends a terrible message from our country to those that have served on our behalf. That's a terrible message to send, in my opinion.
I understand the city's point of view by allowing people to just decorate their property with flags.
Sure.
We are not a used car lot.
That's correct.
We're not advertising anything for sale.
Yes.
We're promoting Americanism, patriotism, respect for the flag of our nation. And especially in today's age and what we're going through now, many of our young men and women are being wounded, maimed, crippled for life, killed. We've had ceremonies here for some just recently. One of my members' grandson, a retired Florida Highway Patrolman, 30-some years in this local area, his grandson just suffered some severe injuries, possibly could have lost both of his legs. The surgeons have saved him. He's healing in Texas this day. We felt at the time the flag issue was about, the veterans, not just us, not just this city, they're not getting the respect they have earned. Drug addicts, murders, you see it in the news every day. They get more attention than the veterans. The veterans are the ones who are protecting this country and giving us a way of life that we have had such an enjoyable time doing today. We just ask that we be able to display more American flags without being criticized that we're a used car lot, we're trying to sell something, or at one point we were even compared to the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh my goodness.
And that if we were permitted to put our flags up, they would have to be permitted to fly theirs. That's not so.
All things are not created equal.
No, they aren't.
In some instances. Tell us about how you serve your vets and their families and the outreaches that you have for our existing.
Well, where do I start? We have so many programs. Our children and youth, I focus on that. As you can see posted on the wall, we have 4 Scout troops.
I see that.
The Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the Brownies, and the Sea Scouts. Many of the residents in the city of New Smyrna and Edgewater don't even know what the Sea Scouts are. These are the older young men and women. The Boy Scouts, we just recently had the Eagle Scout Award ceremony here, where every young man in that troop progressed to the level of Eagle Scout.
Wow. My grandsons just went from Cub Scout to Boy Scout, and my husband, his grandfather, is working with him, and his goal is to help him get his Eagle Scout Award too. So that's so important to our community. So what you're doing is you're just not an organization for vets. You service their families and their children.
Absolutely.
You're generational.
Mm-hmm. We had a open plate barbecue dinner on a Saturday to help Ms. Weaver at the Edgewater Elementary School. And in that one day, from 2 to 6 p.m., we raised approximately $4,000.
Wow.
We didn't go elsewhere and spend the money. We went to Walmart, and at one time we spent $3,600 on clothing. We gathered with the school and other folks from around the city, and at the Edgewater Alliance Church we distributed just new clothing to these children. There was a balance left over that was turned over to Ms. Weaver to buy the children's lunches. We have food banks. We deliver them to the city of Oak Hill weekly. Clothing drives. We support the Emory Bennett home up in Daytona. Many people don't know about these old timers.
Tell them what Emory Bennett is. It's a nurse.
Emory Bennett is a veterans nursing home, and for many of the veterans, it is their last stop.
It's their last stop.
They forfeit most everything they have to live there. Right. It is a wonderful place. It is. They can have their pets, their dogs, their birds, fish, whatever. And we do birthday parties. We pay their membership so they can remain members of the American Legion. We do installation programs with them. We bring them to our dinners. We actually have them, they will bring them down and they'll be parts of our dinners and parties and things such as that. Last year we had the Wounded Warriors. The Wounded Warriors is a nationwide program to assist those who have lost limbs and been wounded, burned. They were here. There were approximately 400 of them here. The USO set up outside. I was told at the last minute that I had to have a permit to do this. Why? I'm not making anything off of it. We're not charging any revenue. We're supporting our veterans.
Well, wasn't it on your own property?
It was on this property right here. Yes. We have had, we are now venturing into the program of the Rolling Thunder. Just past Memorial Day, 900,000 Rolling Thunder motorcycle riders came down on Washington, D.C. for the memorial services. 900,000. They literally donate millions of dollars a year to the support of the veterans, their families, and the children. They provide college fees, college education for the children who probably without their parents wouldn't have that. Last year we logged over 5,000 hours. Our honor guard, the Post 285 honor guard, we logged over 5,000 hours in community service doing the funeral services. We have never turned one down. We have sometimes done 3 in one day. And these are all volunteers. These are veterans. These are the wives of veterans, our grandchildren, our sons. We stand forth to help the veterans. Everything we do is focused on service to the veterans. We're a nonprofit organization. We just ask for a little help now and then getting over some of the debts we have as we encounter our growth here. We do the Christmas parades. We have a baseball team. As you look around, you'll see some of these giant trophies these young kids have. It costs hundreds of dollars to sponsor these teams. Lately, with some of the debts we have had to cut back on our donations.
So everything that you're saying is you're obviously a great community partner. And
we intend to be, yes.
Well, I think you have an excellent record of that. I think your fruit and what you do in the community speaks for itself, and all you're asking for is a little bit of grace coming back in the same direction to continue supporting your veterans, our veterans, and our community and our children and grandchildren in our area.
I would like to say one more thing on the flags. We have come to agreement on the flag issue that on special occasions we can display our flags.
Wonderful.
We're thankful for that. We don't, as you'll see, you're here today, we only have the standard daily flags out. When we do have a special thing, we put them out, we take them down in the evening. This is an agreement we have with the city. We would like to see an amendment to the ordinance that restricts properties to only one American flag. And if you read that ordinance, it is plain black and white. It restricts property to one American flag. A point on that is, this past Memorial Day, we distributed and placed over 6,000 flags on the veterans' graves throughout the cemeteries in this area. We do the Edgewater Cemetery, we do Sea Pines. There are many small cemeteries around here that folks don't even know about. We go to Oak Hill, we go to some of the outcrop areas. We go to some of the places where you have to guard yourself because of the bushes and the weeds to make sure that all of these veterans have a flag on their grave and they're not forgotten. We are another program we're starting here is the Gold Star Mothers. The Gold Star Mother program, and Congress has just recently voted to add the Gold Star Fathers. They are the mothers and the fathers of young men and women who were deceased in our wars today. And we have, I hate to say it, but we already have about 5 candidates, local candidates. Wow. And we intend to honor them and bring them into our program of service to their veterans. So we focus on service to the veterans, children and youth, and our communities.
Well, you're a great partner.
Thank you.
And let's tell you what your name again is. What's your official title here?
Commander.
Commander.
Yes. My name is Wallace Edwin Ferreira. I was born and raised in New Smyrna. I'm 5th generation from New Smyrna. My father was a police chief there for more than 40 years. Wow. I love it here. My 24 years in the Navy, I couldn't stand it. I wanted to come home. And I would like to say my son Virgil, he's fixing to be selected as a Chief Petty Officer in the Navy, I hope. Wow. And he is serving on the USS George H.W. Bush. And she has done her turn in the Gulf and the Indian Ocean with the worst. And so many of these young men and women are not recognized today.
I agree with
They're just not given the attention that they need, you know. And it's changing.
Well, I just want to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Your service.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
It means a lot, and we'll be around. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.